Many of former President Donald Trump's well-known supporters in Washington, D.C., have expressed outrage over the prosecution, calling it politically motivated or downplaying the alleged crimes following his indictment on federal charges last week. Some of Trump's supporters in the private sector spoke with ABC News and provided a range of perspectives about the case brought by special counsel Jack Smith and the alleged crimes, while many of Trump's top business allies have largely remained silent. The business allies discussed whether the indictment would have an impact on plans for additional donations to the Trump campaign and provided an explanation of why they think many of their colleagues have been silent. Trump is accused of mishandling classified documents and obstructing an investigation into the alleged misconduct on 37 counts, according to the prosecution. The indictment claims that the relevant classified documents contained details about nuclear programs and potential threats to national security. If found guilty of all the charges, a lengthy prison sentence could result. On Tuesday, Trump entered a not guilty plea in court. The former president criticized Smith after his arraignment and falsely asserted that the Presidential Records Act allowed him to retain classified information. A billionaire from New York named John Catsimatidis, who gave at least $600,000 to Trump's 2020 and 2016 presidential campaigns, downplayed the alleged wrongdoing but supported the legality of the court case. In reference to the federal charges brought against Trump, Catsimatidis disparaged the case as nickel and dime. However, Catsimatidis asserted that he has confidence in the legal system to decide the allegations against Trump. Owner of the grocery store chain Gristed's, Catsimatidis advised, "Let it go through the system." Stan Pate vehemently denounced the federal charges against Trump and vowed to increase his support for his campaign if he is found guilty. Pate's Alabama-based company BPH Properties donated $500,000 to Trump in support in November. The allegations are a complete outrage, according to Stephen Moore, a former economic advisor to Trump's 2016 campaign. Moore, however, claimed he was not a lawyer. Moore, an economics fellow at the Conservative Heritage Foundation, further emphasized that no one is above the law. "I am unable to determine whether he broke this or that law." Catsimatidis and Pate claimed the indictment was political, similar to how it was with some well-known Republican elected officials. There is no proof that Biden had a say in whether or not Trump would face charges. For his part, Smith oversaw the DOJ's Public Integrity section, where he looked into members of both parties and served as a federal prosecutor for almost 10 years. In spite of criticism from Trump and others, Biden said Americans should have faith in the Department of Justice hours before news of Trump's indictment broke. According to Biden, "I have never not once suggested to the Justice Department what they should do or not do with regard to bringing a charge or not bringing a charge." Both Catsimatidis and Pate stated that their decision to continue supporting Trump with donations would be unaffected by the indictment. Pate, who was scheduled to attend a meet and greet with Trump on Tuesday night at his club in Bedminster, New Jersey, declared he would certainly be donating to his campaign in the future. Pate said he would double down if Trump is found guilty of federal offenses in the documents case. "Why would you abandon someone and stop supporting him if you believe in him and have confidence in him?" Pate asked. "I might bet 3 times. Contributions are the cost of doing business," according to Catsimatidis, who gave Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign more than $100,000. According to Catsimatidis, "I give money because I like people to answer the phone when I pick up and call them." According to Candace Nelson, an American University professor of government and academic director of the Campaign Institute, the indictment is unlikely to have an impact on donations from ardent Trump supporters. Nelson made this statement to ABC News. "They'll believe what he's telling them if they're staunch Trump supporters," Nelson predicted. More than 20 Trump supporters in the private sector, many of whom have provided him with economic policy advice and contributed millions of dollars to his presidential campaigns, were contacted by ABC News about the indictment. When questioned about why the majority of Trump's business associates declined the chance to comment on the indictment, Catsimatidis responded, "They're scared stiff. There aren't many people," he continued, "who are willing to speak up and declare whether something is right or wrong." Moore claimed that the majority of significant Trump backers have avoided discussing the indictment in the media because they don't want to be front and center on this kind of controversy. Moore continued, "They want to stay in the background."